What up, what up, what up? It's your boy VAR. You already know what it is. Welcome back to VAR World Boxing. Man, today is something special. It's the first episode of Unanimous Decision. That's the podcast we're going to be rocking with. All right, I am your host, VAR. This is my co-host,
Derek Starlin, professional boxer, 5-1, 4 KOs.
All right, let's get it. All right, today we're gonna be talking about Keyshawn Davis. We're gonna talk about the Lopez card. I feel like we're gonna talk about the Lopez card. We're gonna get into the Terence Crawford card with Avanesian. We're gonna touch on Tank Davis's card that's coming up in January. I believe is it January 28th? Is it January 28th? Something like that. Yeah, so that card is apparently stacked. All right, so we're gonna get into all of that. All right, before we do though, I want to make sure you guys go to the channel. Make sure you hit the subscribe. All right, you hit the like button on anything. You know what I mean? All the videos. Go ahead and spam what you need to spam, and make sure you hit the bell notification so whenever I'm here, you are here with me. For anybody that is new that's coming to the channel, please accept my invitation to subscribe to the channel, and for my returners, thank you for coming back. All right, let's get into this shit. We're gonna get into round one in this mother joker. All right, we're gonna be talking about Keyshawn Davis. Yeah, we're gonna talk about Keyshawn Davis because I think he looked real good. I remember I texted you. I was like, yo, Keyshawn looking real good right now. He looking real sharp. And you were like, really? You were like, you ain't really.
I didn't think so. I'm gonna tell you what I thought.
Let's talk about it.
I thought that Keyshawn was fighting like Shakur. I thought he wasn't trying to take risk. He was just like, he knew he could beat him. He just kind of like just dragged it out. Like he didn't try to stop him or finish him. Like he had spots where it's like he could have kept going, put his foot on the gas, and the other times he just like let off the gas and just let it like ease into the fight.
You don't think he was afraid of getting caught because old boy was kind of live dog.
Like if you watch, so with Keyshawn Davis, he reminds me of Terence Crawford. He got that complex where, and like Tank too, they like to get hit. It revs them up when they get hit, and it makes them a better fighter when they get hit. They don't mind taking a punch to get in there and start doing what they got to do. He was punching on the guy, but he was like picking his spots, and he was kind of like letting this slide. Like he was just, he wasn't going hard. I'm not gonna say he wasn't going hard, but he wasn't. His other fights, he was trying to close the show. Like he was trying to stop those dudes.
He was trying to prove something. Like I think in those fights he was trying to prove something. In this one, I think he wanted to get through the rounds. He needed those rounds. He wanted to get through the rounds, and he wanted to, display what type of.
It was also talent. A 10-rounder. I think it's his first 10-rounder, so that might be a big factor. And he didn't.
Was it 10 rounds?
Yeah. Wasn't it 10?
Hold on. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know if it
might have been. No, I'm sorry. It might have been 8.
Yeah. I think it was an 8.
Yeah, it might have been 8. I'm sorry. But still,
that's still a lot of rounds though. Yeah, like because he's been knocking out everybody.
They said that's his longest fight. That fight was his longest fight. So he hasn't been past 8 rounds, or past 7 rounds or whatever in a fight. I'm guessing. So
maybe that's why.
Maybe. Not going to knock it. He did a good. He had a good performance, but the Keyshawn I'm used to watching is like he a dog. Like once he smelled that blood, and the dude was obviously like he wasn't on the same level as him, and he had a chance to stop him. I feel like a few times, but he just kind of like let his foot off the gas. He kind of like just like cruised to his victory a little bit.
Word. No. I feel you on that. I definitely feel you on that. But with that being said, I think he did what he was supposed to do with the opponent that was in front of him.
No, absolutely. He got the job done. I'm not gonna knock that at all. Like this is my thing. He boxed perfectly.
Right.
Like I give it to him. He boxed perfectly. I'm just used to seeing him in a different light when he fights. Like he's literally like trying to get you out of there. Like he has that. You can tell by the way he carries himself, by the way he talks. He has that chip on the shoulder where it's like I'm getting everybody out of there. So it was a little different, which is nothing wrong with that. I mean, you can go farther by taking less damage, as they say.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, listen, dog. I think that whole camp is taking whatever Shakur is giving them. I'm keeping it funky with you. I think Shakur is the one that's breeding this new style that's coming out. So at first it was.
Is it a new style, really?
Well, I wouldn't. I don't know. I don't want to know. I don't want to say it's a new style, but think about this, right? See, Mayweather came in with, and that wasn't a new style either. But people were making it seem like it was a new style, doing the shoulder roll and doing the Philly shell. Like we've had fighters to go ahead and do the Philly shell and do very well with it. But what happens is Mayweather executed it way better than anybody else. And he showed that, so now everybody wanted to do it because of him, not because of James Toney, not because of anybody else who was not.
James Toney did it very, very well, by the way.
He did it very well. The only person I think right now is doing it just as good as James Toney is Regis Prograde. Regis Prograde is using that shoulder roll right now, and he looked real good against Cepeda. But that's another show, whatever case may be. But yeah, it's a new style that's making sure you are perfecting range, and he's using that pawing jab to catch that range, and that's what I've been seeing Keyshawn Davis do, and I've also been seeing Terence Crawford do the same thing. So when we get up to the Terence Crawford fight, I'm definitely bring that up.
I like that idea because you're absolutely right. That make putting two and two together. I'm just thinking about that because I caught some clips of that fight, so I get where you're going with that.
Yeah, like that pawing jab and keeping that distance or whatever, and just staying calm and poised. What else is on that card there?
All right, so besides Keyshawn looking good, next fight I saw was Anderson and the other guy. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
The other guy is. Don't get me. Sorry if I don't remember your name. If you're seeing this,
yeah.
He is a seasoned vet. He's been in there with quite a few guys. He has a good resume, absolute good resume.
Yeah.
I don't know if he came in shape. He didn't look like he came in shape. I mean, it looked like he got a last minute call and just took the fight. He came out bombs thrown though. Like he came out, he rocked Jared Anderson the first minute or two of the round,
right?
And then after that was all Jared Anderson. After that, he was on him. And he just looked like he was just in there, just trying to make the fight last as long as he could. I think second round he got him out of there.
So I wasn't able to watch the full fight. I watched a couple of clips of it after it was already done or whatever the case may be. But the big shot, like, this is me going through cats on YouTube who are, screenshotting and recording this mother joker, right? So I went on and I saw that, Big Baby did get caught, and I'm thinking,
he got caught a few times. He got caught a bunch of times. Honestly,
yeah,
he did.
Right. So it's like, all right, Big Baby. All right, you're supposed to be the one that everybody's pushing. We're pushing you to be the next American heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? We're pushing you to be the next American heavyweight. And when I think of that, I think of you up against the upper echelon fighters. I'm talking about the Tyson Furies. I'm talking about the Wilders, and I'm talking about the bigger, better fighters right now. You getting caught by either one of those dudes?
It's different though. I'm gonna tell you, when you're in the ring and you can take somebody's power, you're a little bit more open to stuff. So from what I've seen in there, he did get hit quite a few times, but I felt like he was such in the zone at that point that those punches didn't matter. Like he was getting hit flush, and he was just like, "Nah, I'm about to get him out of there." You are right. You can't do that. And I'm guarantee you, he would never do no shit like that in a fight where he was fighting the top 10 guys. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he wouldn't open himself up that much, because as a fighter, you're not gonna open yourself up that much because every fight is different. In this fight, you seen like he came in there trying to get him out of there. Like, so I understand what he could, but in the same token, you are right. You don't want to take those because it only takes one punch. So you don't want to take those one punches
at all.
Yeah, at all. You don't want to take that. So
especially not messing with Deontay Wilder. I mean, you see what he did to Robert Helenius. Again, listen. The dude barely even threw that punch and knocked Robert Helenius out. The dude didn't know where he was. He was in another dimension. So all I'm saying is that if he touches anybody, they going to bed, they falling down, they doing whatever the case may be, and he's gonna be the one that's gonna be ending up campaigning to fight Wilder. Can he take that power? I don't know, dog. I don't know. He need to get back on the drawing board. What the hell you got to say, man? You over there always doing all these little extra faces.
Because I'm just throw Wilder's not even the topic conversation. You throw Wilder in there.
Because Big Baby is a heavyweight, and if he wants to be on the top echelon, and Wilder is an echelon, yeah. So why not bring up Wilder? It's like you.
I just don't. Come on, you bring up Wilder like as if he takes the punch from Wilder. That's if. That's a big if.
Yeah,
it's a big if.
He done did it to everybody who he fought.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you can say that. I agree with you.
Yeah. So you gotta. That's always in the conversation every time.
It is, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he can't take a punch. I mean, he took quite a few punches from that guy, and he can't move it. So he looks like he have a strong chin on him.
Yeah, sure. A lot of people, like I said, a lot of people think they have strong chins until they get touched by Wilder.
I don't think so. I've never heard nobody say, I'm gonna stand in front of Wilder and let him punch me and show you how hard my chin is. Their thing is to get away from Wilder's right hand,
and they can't.
And let's be clear,
they cannot.
Let's be clear. Once he throws the right hand, he's going to continually throw it, and you might run into it. You might not. He might hit you. He might not. That's just how it's going to go. Right. Now, it's been fighters that people who I've seen get punched the right hand and nothing happened. But then after that, it wears you down. Like, he has some good power. That's fine. But it doesn't mean that just because Helenius got dropped that Big Baby, Anderson is going to get dropped like that too.
How would he fare against Wilder then? Talk about it.
I don't know. I honestly don't care either. I'm a heavyweight fighter, so I don't really care about what other heavyweights do. I only worry about myself.
Well, you wouldn't. Listen, you a heavyweight fighter. I think you should be looking at that landscape, brother.
Don't think I don't look at it. I do look at it, but to me, to talk about him or go, I'm not going. That's not fun.
All right. Anyway, well, that's why I brought up Wilder. As far as the fight with Big Baby, this dude, man, he is. Listen, we got a Wilder hater back here, ladies.
Nothing to do with this topic.
He's. I have to bring him up because
you don't.
Yeah, I do.
You don't.
What? You'll never want Big Baby to fight Wilder? Who do you think will win? You don't even know. So I'm gonna bring him up. I'm absolutely bringing him up because he is the top. I said Tyson Fury.
What about Usyk? I would rather you say him fight them than fight Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder's a guy who he quit and retired and wanted to make music in Cologne, and then he just like, let me get back in there, and he fought Helenius.
And completely destroyed him. Completely destroyed him when people thought he needed to retire, but this is not.
No. He said he wanted to retire. People didn't say that he wanted.
No, he didn't.
His fans wanted to see him.
He didn't say he never said he wanted to retire. That's cap.
That's not cap. He actually put a Twitter a post out about him retiring, doing something. Like, he actually put something out because everybody was harping on him. Not even harping. I'm sorry. The internet is a cruel place and it's a lovely place at the same time. They were saying stuff about him, and he just couldn't take it. Which you can't give it and then not receive it. Like, you're dishing when he knock everybody out. He can post memes.
What are you ranting on right now, bro?
I'm talking about Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, but why are you the one that said why are we talking about Deontay Wilder, and now you ranting on what he did and what he did not say.
The Wilder fans don't like when you start getting. You're right. On to the next topic.
I
know how sensitive he is about Wilder.
God damn, hold on.
I know how sensitive he is about Wilder.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right, look. Anyway, look. All right, so besides that, all right, Big Baby did what he was. I think he could have done better. I don't think he should be getting touched because of who he trains with. You understand what I'm saying? Because of he's training with faster fighters, and he shouldn't be getting touched by fighters like him. In my opinion. All right, and again, this is my opinion. I don't think he should be getting touched by cats like that, because I think.
But you talking about a guy who fought some of the top guys though. Like, he competed with some good heavyweights. Like, he has a good resume. So to sit there and say he shouldn't be getting touched, unless it's boxing, you're going to get touched. You know, you're going to get touched. So it's
absolutely. He just needs to sharpen up on his defense. That's it.
But no fighter doesn't get touched. Name one fighter who doesn't get touched.
That's fine. This sharpening up on defense is not something I shouldn't be saying if I'm being objective. Like, sharpening up on defense is something that you need to do.
That's your opinion.
For sure.
That's your opinion.
For sure. Because getting touched and getting touched by big punches like Deontay Wilder is not cool. So I'm just putting it out there.
Okay.
I'm just saying. But all right, but we got the next thing. We got the next round that we're gonna talk about. That round we went a little long. That was the first round. Second round we're gonna be talking about. Let's get into this tank card before we get to T.O.
Okay.
Before we get to Crawford.
The duck. I mean.
Oh shit!
Crawford, got you.
All right, I just want to run through this real quick. All right, I just want to run through it. All right, so the tank. Yeah, the tank card. I want to talk. Yeah, I want to talk about the tank card real quick. Only because
you didn't like it.
no, but we don't know any of these guys' opponents except for Tank. Tank's opponent was the dude who upset Colbert.
Colbert,
yep, and this other cat.
Was that at 130? He upset Colbert.
135, I believe.
No, Colbert. Oh, okay. Okay, so that's interesting.
Yeah, so that's the deal. Only because because Colbert is over here talking shit about Frank Martin. He want to fight him at 135. So this is all 135 talk. We got Boots who's fighting some dude again. That's what I'm saying. Like
dude with a long last name.
Long last name and start with a C. And then also Boo Boo is also on this card, which is beautiful. Okay, Boo Boo being on this card is something beautiful because he has a chance to look good and then campaign for either the Charlo or the Benavidez Plant winner. All right. With as far as Boots is concerned, they're holding those belts hostage right now. So until he's gonna get into that eliminator with either Keith Thurman, Stanionis, you're gonna have Virgil Ortiz and things like that. Those guys are gonna be the next up that he needs to fight, unfortunately, because
I agree he needs some better competition.
He needs some better competition.
Agree with that. Like I love Boots. I love the way he fights. I love the dog he has. I love the way he trains. His fights, he gets the job done. I think that now it's time for him to step up in competition. Honestly, and this is me being on the objective side of as a fan. Mm-hmm. We don't know these guys he's fighting. All these guys he's fighting is just they kind of like nobody. So it's like, all right, we want to see Boots and he's putting on a show, but you're fighting nobodies, and it's kind of like. Come on, like that can hurt your career a little bit once you start getting too far into fighting nobodies. Don't get me wrong. Some people say that those guys are ducking him. That everybody's ducking him, and I get it because Earl Spence went through the same thing when he was coming up. So I kind of get it. So I'm not gonna. You can't knock Boots because people don't want to fight Boots. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't. So I mean, all he can do. I mean, he can start calling people out and make it seem like, yo, listen, I want to fight these guys. I said this person's name, I said this person's name, and they don't want to sign a contract. Now that's a different type of scenario.
He could do that. But what I've been noticing though is that if he does do that, and this is what fans do, if he does do that, it's gonna be fake because he knows that certain people are already tied up with different fights. He's not gonna be next in line for something. He clearly wants a championship, which means it's Terence Crawford or Errol Spence, right?
But no, because this fight is actually for a belt too. It's one of the intern belts or something like that. I think, if I'm not mistaken, IBF, I think. So this one is.
This is an eliminator.
No. This is a title fight. This is for it's like one of the IBF, one of the
like a regular belt.
Yeah,
is it like
one of the underling belts? Intern.
That's what I'm saying. So it's not one of the big major belts that either Errol or Terence.
It's not. No. So what you're not realizing, you should understand is Errol. It's the 4 belts, but they got like 4 belts under the 4 belts. So they all world title belts, but the top belts are what Errol has and what Crawford has. But you got the other ones that's under him. So if he was to win, he would be considered a world champion. You know what I'm saying? And
then people will want to fight for his belts, or
I
that's what I'm saying. Like people, he's gonna be more so in line to get those belts. Like if it's either vacant or he goes.
It won't be vacant, but it just he'll be a world champion. They're not. So remember when Tank said he had those what did he say the Devin Haney belts was?
Email.
The email belt.
Yeah.
So he's fighting for one.
He's fighting for an email belt.
I don't want to say the email belt.
He's fighting for a goddamn email belt.
But he's fighting for one of those belts.
That's messed up. Well, that's not messed up. It's just that it's going to put him in line then. So it's going to end up putting him in line for.
Yeah, it's just what it is. It's like he has those belts now. He can start becoming more. I just don't. I mean, like I said, the guys he's fighting are nobodies, so it's kind of hard to. And I don't mean that nobody's with no disrespect. I just mean we want to see him fight bigger, better competition.
Bigger names. It's just bigger names because right now the guys that he's talking about don't have any names. These guys are now on a.
Because 147, let's be honest, has a shitload of guys. So
absolutely,
you can start stepping up. Like he's actually, if I'm not mistaken, in I think all the top 10s in all sanctioning bodies, boxing. So if he's in all the top 10, he should be fighting, whatever number he is, and fighting in top 10 list guys.
Exactly.
If you ask me, that's what he should start calling out those guys. You know how boxing is, it's a business, so they're not going to automatically get those guys, but that puts people on notice too that, listen, he's actually trying to fight these guys. Like, he's really trying to fight these guys, so let's try to make these fights happen. We're going to see what he does this week, or not this week, in a few weeks.
Yeah, I don't know, when is it a January? It's the January
I think it's
a January card.
I think it's like 3 weeks from now.
All right, so what about, how do you feel about,
Boo-boo?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm glad he's fighting again. He hasn't fought in years. It's been, I think, almost 2 years since he's fought.
Yeah. It's been too long.
He's a good fighter. I think the him not being consistent is going to hurt him.
No, he fought last year. He fought last year against some bum. Listen, he didn't fight nobody.
All right, but still, I like him as a fighter, but when you're inconsistent like that, it's kind of hard, like to just jump in the ring and then just go for what, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got it takes a little bit more. So hopefully this fight will start, or he'll be on this card and he'll fight more frequently and get him on the road. Cause
he don't need to be doing nothing but worrying about Benavidez and playing, bro, or Charlo. Like those are the three gentlemen that he need to be worried about.
Okay.
All right. So with that,
I respect that because that makes sense. I mean, I like to see the best guys fight the best guys. So what you're saying is he takes this fight, get his fight, his tune-up fight, and then start going after the other four horsemen of that division.
Exactly.
Sounds cool to me.
Exactly, and I think it'll be easier for him to get those fights. Do you think they will take those fights? Is the question.
I don't know. A lot of people are going with this. You got to have a belt. You got to do this. You got to do that. And I'm not really a fan of that. Like everybody's not going to have a belt, but everybody's going to be a top. I'm sorry, not everybody's a top contender, but you have your top contenders. So if you got the top 10 guys, not all those top 10 guys have belts. Right. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, how you gonna get mad that he doesn't have a belt, but you do, so you can put your belt on the line. Now that makes you, that what makes you a warrior right there. All right, I'll put my belt on the line. Like, we gonna test this out. See who get this W.
That's gonna be.
I'm confident in myself to get this W. Put my belt on the line.
That's gonna be an interesting story because that's gonna be the talk of the town. That's gonna be something that we're gonna end up having to talk about a lot because it's the Benavidez Plant show. It's gonna be the Charlo Boo Boo show. So whatever they do and watch it, we're gonna see who's gonna be facing who, just like how we're doing in the 135 division. You know what I mean?
I think that those guys, like that whole, was that 168? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that whole division. Those guys, they've been talking about fighting each other for a minute, and it's like when it starts to come about, is we'll get a belt, or you gotta have this, or I want, like, it starts to nitpick about what's actually going on. I feel like we won't get those fights. I honestly feel like we won't, unless.
I think that too. Just about the atmosphere of the game right now.
Yeah. So it sucks because we want to see those fights. Those would be great fights, but like I said, we don't know.
All right, let's get into round 4 or round 3 rather. All right, round 3, we're gonna be talking about Terence Crawford. I didn't watch all of the fight, but again, let me just tell you something. I didn't watch it because I knew it was gonna be ass, and I knew exactly what was gonna happen. The dude knocked him out. If
anybody sat there and thought that this fight was going to be entertaining or even competitive, it's a rehab you should check into.
Everyone, I was
It's a
watching a lot of
reality check
YouTube,
into.
and it's funny because I was watching a lot of YouTube channels and saying that they're saying, "Oh, it was way better than you think. It was way better than you think." Come on, bruh. Come on, bruh.
I seen some highlights and it wasn't.
It wasn't cool because
It wasn't.
Avenesian looked like it was a spar. It looked like a spar.
That's what Tank said. Tank said he's a sparring partner.
And that's what I'm saying. Yo, Tank and Crawford could fight, right? They talking that ish as if they
talking to each other about it.
Yeah.
Listen, Tank got a lot of heart. Tank don't let nobody talk to him. Going up to 147, not a good idea. I mean, don't get me wrong. He got the heart. He got the skills. But it's a big disadvantage, and it sucks when you put yourself at that big of a disadvantage. Tank only 5'5".
Yeah, Tank don't give a damn.
No, he don't.
Tank don't give a damn.
He don't.
And if Gamboa had that much success against Terence Crawford, what makes you think that Tank isn't gonna have that success?
You can't do that. Every fight is different. You can't do that. Every fight is different. You can't say because Gamboa did this that Tank gonna do this, or because this person did that person gonna do this.
At least you could say there's a chance because of the height.
There's absolutely a chance.
It's
a chance with anybody.
Not with Avenesian.
Yeah, it was a chance.
Avenesian garbage.
Took it away right just like that. As soon as it ding ding ding, it went right away. Well, he had a chance. It just didn't work. I don't think I didn't like that fight at all. Like, everybody was hyped up about the Spence and Bud Crawford fight, and then you go to some BLK app, some bankrupt app, and get a fight with them, and it's like, who is this guy? Who is this promotion? Because like nobody knows these people, but because they gave you some money, and nobody watched that fight. Honestly, nobody watched that fight. Everybody I talked to was talking about the ESPN card.
Same.
I mean, you was better off staying with them. Honestly, if you ask me, he was better off staying with them.
Yep.
And try to make that fight work with Spence, but you know what I do.
Yeah, man. I don't want to talk about the Spence ducking. I mean, Crawford ducking thing because that's just already known. He's getting caught up. I know everybody else is talking about it. I don't really want to get into it. That dude clearly ducked. Ducked.
We're gonna see what happens in the future. Let's see. He got that fight out the way. Maybe he'll get something. I don't know. I think that holding on to those belts and this is what I see. And you can timestamp this. They're gonna hold on to those belts, right? Spence is going to move up. The belt's going to be vacant. Terence Crawford's going to fight for him. Terence Crawford wins. He becomes undisputed champion at 2 weight classes. He's the best fighter of all time that they're going to push for, without having him fighting anybody. I think his.
The worst, dog. That's the worst idea. Or the thing is, that's gonna be the worst thing he can do for his legacy. All right.
No, because honestly, when you run it down, it's going to say 2-time unanimous.
No, he's gonna be two-time
undisputed champion, 2 different weight classes. 5-time, 6-time champion. Like when you run it down, then nobody's gonna say.
But no one's gonna really respect him like that, except for his true fans. Just like how you think Wilder got his own. It's gonna.
I don't think they. I know they. So his own fans.
So it's only gonna be a certain amount of people who believe in Crawford, and his legacy gonna be a duck, just like how Riddick Bowe. It's gonna be worse than Riddick Bowe. It's gonna be worse than.
Whoa. I am not going to tolerate no Riddick Bowe slander.
But I'm done with Crawford. I'm gonna be honest. All right. Yeah, round 4. I'm being honest. This is the last round. Okay, Teofimo, man. Let's talk about Teofimo. How do you think he looked out there? How do you think he looked? He ended up winning a split decision. It was not a UD this time. This Joker had a split decision.
Honestly, I thought the other guy could have. I thought they could have gave it to the other guy. I thought the other guy was outboxing him. But what happens was, I thought that he was catching him a little bit on the they would come in, they would exchange, and on the way out, he'd catch him like a little hook. You know what I'm saying?
Sandor Martin?
No. Sandor Martin will get caught with the hook.
Yeah.
And Teofimo will catch him with like a little hook or something.
Right.
Something minor. It wasn't nothing crazy, but he was just like catching him the last minute out. And it looked like he was doing a little bit more.
Right.
But then the other guy was boxing and moving. He was jabbing, moving, slipping, point. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was doing a little bit more.
Sandor got 2 knockdowns, bro.
In that fight?
Yes.
I didn't see that
the first knockdown was clean. The second one they didn't want to call it, but he had him with a check right hook.
I did see that one. Yeah, he did, and they stopped it. They slowed it down on the replay, and he did catch it, but the ref called it a slip. But from that angle where the ref was at, it could look like a slip. But when they turned the camera around, he hit him. He hit him, and it should have been called a knockdown.
Should have been called a knockdown, which means it should have been Sandor's fight. That should have been Sandor Morin's fight.
I mean, listen, if they would have gave it to him, I wouldn't have got mad because I was watching the fight and I'm like, it don't look like Teofimo in the past, and that's the different. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like
right.
But I'm just like I said, until those guys start fighting each other and all the talk they do, I'm not really going to be satisfied with none of their fights. Like I feel like him and his father do so much talking. Just like Bill and Devin do so much talking and but none of them get contracts signed, none of them get contracts done. Now let's go to it's the promoters. It's not always the promoters.
Nah, I wouldn't say it's not always the promoters, no. But let me just say something about Teo, man. And shout out to Tim Bradley, man, because he mentioned this before the fight started. He said that he was
inducted to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, shout out to him for that. But I'm talking more so he's him mentioning the fact that Teofimo was not the same. When he talked to him, he was all over the place. He's not the same person. This is before the fight started. He said, when I talked to him in the fighters meeting, he's all over the place. I didn't know who I was talking to. Okay. So after the fight, he also mentioned, he asked his father, yo, do I still have it? Do I still got it? That's what he said. He said, do I still got it? And somebody who's doubting himself like that is already on a decline, bruh. It's already on a decline. To me, I don't think he lost it. I think he still had it. I thought he did. I don't think he looked bad. I don't think that he was able to cut off the ring with Sandor Martin like he was supposed to. Maybe because he had less time to prepare for him because he was supposed to go against Pedraza. But at the end of the day, he didn't adjust to Sandor Martin the way he was supposed to.
Hey, that's probably all it was. A lot of people can't adjust. That's the thing. A lot of people can't adjust. Mm-hmm. Like even when you and I'll go back a few fights. When he beat Lomo, I thought he fought the regular way he normally fights. Mm-hmm. And only thing that got him over that fight was, two things. Lomo started out slow, too slow, and last he pulled that dog out. Like the end of that fight, he pulled the dog out. And that's what got it. I think now he's like kind of sitting back, trying to be all cool, and like it's like fight your fight. Like if you want to go knock somebody out, go knock somebody out. Do what you're supposed to do. Like with Shakur, if I watch Shakur, I know Shakur is going to move. He's going to ease you into different punches. He's going to slip. I know what Shakur is going to do. Mm-hmm. When you look at Teofimo, you think that Teofimo about to come for a knockout. Not he's going to just move. It's almost as if he's changing his style up to be more likable.
That's like other guys. Yeah, and that's how you know he's got something going on out here because he's not fighting his fight. He's fighting the fight that anybody else wants to fight. You understand what I'm saying?
So everybody to make him more marketable, which I don't agree with that. I agree with fighting your fight. Forget how anybody else looks at you. I'm going to fight the way I fight. If it takes me 12 rounds to win this fight, 12 rounds is going to be. If I can't get the knockout early, or if I can't get the stoppage early, I'm fighting my fight the way I'm supposed to fight my fight. Like I'm not. That's from round 1 to round 12. I'm not going to change up because you go, oh, Derek, I want to see you knock somebody out with an uppercut. I want to see why. No, I'm fighting my fight how it comes to me in that fight. I'll adjust when it's time for me to adjust. And if the opportunity presents itself to knock somebody out, I'm knocking somebody out. I'm taking that knockout. I'm not going to sit there and fall back from something that because y'all want to see something differently. That's just not happening.
Yeah, I completely agree, man. And one thing that I saw was that he did not use his jab. He doesn't have a jab to me, in my opinion. He doesn't set his shots off with a jab. So he wants to knock somebody out. It's going to be hard to do that when you're trying to set up everything from your power punches. You don't do that. The dude is not setting up nothing from his jab to go to the body. He's not setting up nothing to go up top and then go to the body and come up top. Like he's not doing any of that. He's not setting anything up. So I believe that's how he lost with George Kambosos, because he was still going out there trying to knock everybody out. He has the power, but he's not setting it up with a jab.
But does he? I mean, different power. It's a different thing at 140 than it was at 130 and 135.
Right. Right.
So,
No, yeah. I mean, maybe it's not translating up to 140 like it's supposed to, and I mean that could be to his detriment. But one other thing that I wanted to mention to you, man. Like, I hit you up. I was like, yo, man, it was something going on. But I'm not talking about TC. I'm talking about Tio. At the end of the fight, he wanted to get his baby, bro. He wanted to get his baby, and they wouldn't. I don't know if the BLK didn't want him to have his baby, or his wife didn't want him to have his baby.
Wait,
but
Crawford or
no, Teofimo.
It wasn't on BLK.
I'm sorry, ESPN rather.
Oh,
Sorry,
ESPN?
yeah, ESPN. My bad. Yeah, ESPN link. His wife didn't want him to touch the baby or some shit. Like, what was that? Did you see that? Yo, bro, that's I think it's something that playing a part with his mental, man. I think a lot of shit that's going on at home.
It could be. I don't want to speculate. I mean, sometimes you never know what's going to smell. So I don't want to speculate that and go, because we got to give him his credit. He did win the fight. They gave him a split decision.
Yeah.
I don't want to take anything away from him.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, people don't realize how boxing is very taxing. It's a mental game, and it's more mental than it is physical. People don't really realize that. If you're going through a lot of stuff at home or outside the ring, it's going to kind of show if it affects you inside the ring. And it could be affecting him. It could not. I don't know the situation. I just think that your last 2 or 3 performances wasn't that good. I mean, you lost to Cambosis. You didn't even get a rematch for that. You just went up to 140 and just said, forget that. I'm going to the 140. And I know it's in the contract that you get a rematch. You went up to 140. Then the next fight after that, you looked at a little suspect, but he pulled out the win. This fight, he looked at a little again, and he pulled out the win. Now, I mean, if you got to go back to the drawing board, take a few months off, take a year off, whatever for him, but he needs to get back to the 135 Teofimo that was actually doing his thing and making his rise coming up, because you want to stay on top. You don't want to have a decline so early. And sometimes you might have a decline early. That's fine. You can go and do something else with your life. Boxing ain't got to be forever, and boxing ain't got to retire you. You can retire from boxing. So.
All right, man. I'm done with this, man. We done with our rounds, man. The thing is, I wanna wrap it up. I want to go through our unanimous decision, dog. I want to get through the unanimous decision. For as far so we got Keyshawn and Big Baby, who had their wins. One of them, but they both. You
can't put them together. You got to separate them. You can't put them two together.
No, you don't think so?
Nah, you got to go with Keyshawn. Keyshawn first.
Keyshawn first. All right. So look. All right. So we got Keyshawn. All right. We got Keyshawn Davis. I think he did really good. I think he does need to step up his competition a bit. Who is he going to be targeting? He clearly needs to keep calling out the top guys. He's going to call out Devin Haney. He's going to call out.
Well, he's only at 130 right now, right?
Nah, he's a 135er.
Keyshawn's at 135?
Yeah, he's
that's interesting. That's very, very interesting.
Yep, he's a 135er. He's not going to fight Shakur.
But it's early in his career. Remember, it's only like a 7th fight, 8th fight, something like that. But
yeah, they looking to move him on the fast track, the Loma track.
Not always a good track, but I thought he looked okay. I'm not going to sit there and say he didn't look bad. He just didn't look like the normal, Keyshawn that I'm used to seeing. He did what he needed to do. He didn't get hurt. He didn't get beat, punched. He did nothing. He got out that fight untouched, and he touched the guy. So
yeah, he did. He did what he was supposed to do. He did what he was supposed to do. Same thing with Big Baby.
You said you didn't like what was going on with Big Baby. I mean,
well, same thing. Well, Big Baby knocked him out. You know what I mean?
He got touched.
He got touched.
Quite a few, but you said you didn't like that.
I didn't like the fact that he got touched. I think he needs to sharpen up on his defense overall. But congratulations with the win with him. Who is next for him? I think somebody like Areola, like a Chris Areola, maybe
Chris Areola's 40 years old. See, those dudes. See, when you do stuff like that, that's just you trying to play off the name.
Yeah, no, he needs some. He does. He needs.
No, but
he needs
that's not
name.
it.
He need names. He need
But
names.
that's not that. To me, if you ask me if I'm in that position, I'm not taking Chris Arreola. Hell no. But for what? What's the point of me taking Chris Arreola? Chris Arreola is obviously out of his prime.
Yeah, no,
Way
I mean that's
out of his prime.
All right. Who do you think he should target next?
Honestly, I don't know. Don't even care. I just don't think that targeting Chris Arreola would be the best, option. You're supposed to want to go up, not go down.
That's fine, but I mean, Chris Arreola is up from the guy that he talked. That he
no,
absolutely is.
No.
You saw what he did
for his name, yes, but for what's going on right now, no.
Yeah, he needs a name. He does. Big Baby does not have a name.
That's the difference.
He does not. How is he going to get big fights if he does not have names? How is he going to gain leverage?
It doesn't matter. You can.
He needs leverage.
What leverage do you have? You know if they come to tell, I beat Chris Arreola. Chris Arreola was 45 years old. He was out of his prime. Chris Arreola's been fighting since 2000.
All right, 10-4. Look, so we got the next fight. Crawford did what he was supposed to do again. I didn't watch the fight. You got me fucked up. Honestly, Terence Crawford gave me a bad taste. And we got Teofimo, who got his win, but it was a split decision. And
I think the T Crawford thing was T Bud was I wasn't feeling it. It is what it is. I mean, it's his career. He can do what he want to do with it. I wasn't feeling what he did. Tio, I didn't like with his fight. I thought his fight wasn't all that. So, I mean, he did his thing, but that's that.
Yeah, man. Congratulations to all of those, man. This is the last couple seconds of the episode, man. Thank you guys for coming and checking out the Var World Boxing, the Unanimous Decision Podcast, episode 1. This is your boy Vars, my co-host.
It's your boy D.
All right. And until next time, we are out of here. Let's get it poppin'. We are out. So we finally got the first episode popping. Yeah, feel me?
I like that.
Let's get the first episode popping. Let's get out of here.